currently 57. Your NPR station, KUHF, Houston. News 88.7, a service of the University of Houston. It's 9:01.
Live from NPR News, I'm Janine Hurst. President Trump has signed an executive order meant to preempt state rules on artificial intelligence. As Rachel Myrow from member station KQED reports, the move directly challenges states like California that have passed their own AI laws in the absence of federal action.
It's ostensibly a win for Silicon Valley companies that lobbied against AI regulation at the federal level, even as they negotiated on numerous regulatory fronts with state lawmakers like Senator Josh Becker of Menlo Park, California.
For the Trump administration to do this is just pulling the rug out from under us. And we're not going to let corporate interest and Washington bureaucrats dictate the terms of innovation at the expense of the public.
California's state attorney general's office said it's already on record opposing earlier failed efforts to get an AI regulation ban through Congress and has sued the administration on a variety of fronts 48 times this year alone. For NPR News, I'm Rachel Myrow.
Some Head Start early childhood programs are being told by the Trump administration to remove a list of nearly 200 words from their funding applications. NPR's Corey Turner reports that's according to recently submitted court documents.
The list of prohibited words includes accessible, black, minority, and women. It came to light as part of a lawsuit filed by multiple Head Start programs against the Trump administration, arguing that its ban on diversity, equity, and inclusion runs afoul of Congress's intent for Head Start. The head of a Wisconsin-based Head Start told the court her recent funding request was returned, with the Trump administration telling her to please remove the following words. Included was a long list titled Words to Limit or Avoid in Government Documents. Head Start plays a key role in helping young children with disabilities, though the list also includes the word disabilities. Corey Turner, NPR News.
In western Washington state, days of torrential rain led to historic flooding, stranding people on rooftops. Water rescues took place, and first responders went door to door in Mount Vernon yesterday, issuing evacuation notices as the Skagit River passed its major flood stage of 32 feet, and it's still rising. Washington Emergency Management Director Robert Ezell says the situation is unpredictable and dangerous as they wait for the floodwaters to come through.
As the waters come down here, they're still going to be gaining strength, and as they hit the Burlington, Mount Vernon area, we're still expecting to see about 2 feet higher than record flood level.
The National Weather Service has issued flood watches and warnings for the area. Wall Street's trading in mixed territory at this hour. The Dow is up 127 points. You're listening to NPR News from Washington.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include Eric and Wendy Schmidt through the Schmidt Family Foundation, working toward a healthy, resilient, secure world for all. On the web at theschmidt.org. This is NPR.
Live from News 88.7 in Houston, I'm Tom Perumian. The Houston ISD School Board paused its plans to vote on sunsetting arts magnet programs at Kashmir, Northside, and Heights high schools. The programs fall under the district's career and technical education umbrella. District leaders said Thursday a review of Houston labor market data shows these centers no longer meet the threshold for high-wage, high-demand jobs. Harris County commissioners are asking county criminal justice officials to work on a plan to end all of the county jails outsourcing contracts as the population of the jail has decreased by 14% this year. Harris County Judge Lena Hidalgo said that the sheriff's office will need to hire more detention officers before they can bring back more inmates that have been outsourced to other private jail facilities to address overcrowding.
The chief was saying we need additional incentives for detention officers. Well, we have no money. We already had to cut programs, and so that's my concern. Is this tape and glue budgeting, kind of hoping for the best.
It's not clear where they might find money in their budget to hire more officers. The county's new fiscal year 2026 budget had a multi-million-dollar deficit. Your check of weather, we've got a dense fog advisory. It should be expiring this hour. It's going to be partly sunny later today with a high of 73 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy with dense fog late and a low of 63 degrees. Right now, it's foggy, 57 degrees on the UH campus. I'm Tom Perumian. News 88.7.
This is Houston Matters. I'm Craig Cohen. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on News 88.7 and on Houston Public Media's YouTube channel. Coming up this hour, the story of a Houston area Afghan family swept up in an immigration crackdown. Houston Chronicle meteorologist Justin Ballard on some cold weather ahead. Musician Vivalda Ndula, and this week's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. First, though, we are in our last on-air fundraising campaign of the year. Today and tomorrow, we wrap up this year-end effort, and now more than ever, we are counting on your support to ensure the future of Houston Matters and all the news and analysis and conversation that you rely on from Houston Public Media. Make your $10 or $20 or $30 a month gift more if you can afford it right now at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887. And here to encourage your support all hour long, News 88.7's Matt Harrop. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Craig. Yeah, the final live radio campaign of the year is here. If you have been waiting to make that gift, don't need to wait much longer. Today is the day. Your gift powers trusted news, thoughtful storytelling, and the station you rely on every single day. The shows that you rely on every single day. Houston Matters is powered by you. And so we hope you help sustain it for the future. Call 888-909-0887 or head over to houstonpublicmedia.org/donate.
And when you do, you are supporting independent news, you're supporting thoughtful analysis, great conversations and storytelling, everything that you tune into News 88.7 for. It's also a tax-deductible contribution, so consider the value of that to you and make that contribution of $10 or $20 a month or more if you can't afford it at houstonpublicmedia.org or 888-909-0887.
You know, no one tells Houston stories better than Houston Public Media. Houston Public Media's reporters, who you will hear one of them coming up, and that's because the people in our newsroom. It's about the people, right? We are from Greater Houston. We know the city just like you do. So keep in mind, everything that we do, we have you in mind because we are powered by you. And we're really relying on you now. We are now 100% community funded as a result of federal funding losses earlier this year. So head on over to houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or give us a call at 888-909-0887.
This is your final chance this year to support Houston Public Media during a live campaign. If you thought about giving, now is the time. Your contribution helps fund this station's most trusted work and keeps public media accessible to everyone. And when you give, you are ensuring that we have a strong foundation going into the next year. So don't wait. Give now, again, at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate, or you can call 888-909-0887. And we will check back with Matt Harrop a little later in the hour. For now, Matt, thank you.
Thank you.
The Trump administration has frozen immigration processing for all Afghans following a shooting that left a National Guard member dead in Washington, D.C. About 15,000 Afghans have settled in the Houston area since 2021, and many who came through legal channels are now anxious about their status. Houston Public Media's Andrew Schneider has been following the story of one Houston area Afghan family caught up in this crackdown. He joins us for more. Andrew, good morning.
Good morning.
This move by the administration would seem to target Afghan nationals broadly after this shooting, which occurred, again, over Thanksgiving weekend in Washington. Are we seeing people detained simply because they're from Afghanistan, regardless of their individual circumstances?
Sure. So first off, I need to offer a correction. This is not a Houston area family. This is actually a family that's based in Hicksville, New York. So I was connected with this family by a group called Afghan Evac, which is based out of San Diego. They help Afghan nationals to settle in the U.S., Afghans who had helped the U.S. During the war in Afghanistan. So we can confirm at least one case of an Afghan immigrant named Milad Niazi, who was told when he was detained that he was being taken into detention because of the shooting in Washington, D.C. He had no connection with the alleged shooter. He was simply told that everyone on the flight that he came into the U.S. on was being detained.
Okay. So even though this one family that you've connected with and this one individual is not from Houston, Houston's Afghan community has to be a little on edge about all of this.
Very, very much so. I had an unusually difficult time trying to get comments from people in Houston's Afghan community from this story. The one person who was willing to speak on the record was an immigration attorney who is a citizen who's lived in the Houston area for decades. He said people are anxious, they're afraid, a lot of them are depressed. One of the other people I spoke with for the story who wouldn't speak on the record said he was feeling very depressed because he wasn't able to help people in his community in the current circumstances.
Any more you can tell us about Milad Niazi?
Yes. He came to the United States in September of 21, right after the fall of Kabul to the Taliban. He'd met his wife in 2019. She's a citizen. She's the child of immigrants who came here during the Taliban's first time in power. They'd been working to get him a fiancé visa when the Taliban took over. They had a harrowing escape. They spent some time at a transit camp in Qatar before finally arriving in D.C., then moved to Hicksville, which is ironically one town over from the town where I grew up. They got married shortly thereafter. They'd been working to try and get Milad a green card, had some bureaucratic difficulties. December 2nd, Milad woke up his wife, Sophia, to tell her that ICE was in their home. Evidently, he or her father, who lives with them, had let the agents in, even though they hadn't produced a warrant. They still refused to produce a warrant when Sophia asked for one. They wouldn't look at Milad's documentation. They wouldn't let Sophia come with him. They even refused initially to let Milad and Sophia's 3-year-old daughter kiss her father goodbye, that they finally allowed that. Then they put a hood on his head, handcuffed him, took him away. He's been shuttled from one detention facility to another ever since.
DHS has called Milad Niazi a criminal illegal alien, citing domestic violence arrests. What did you find when you looked into those claims?
His wife said the charges were the result of a misunderstanding, that there was no violence involved and that the charges were dropped, although he did have to pay a fine, apparently. NPR ran an exhaustive search of multiple databases, turned up no other criminal charges against him, let alone any charges related to the Washington shooting.
Do we know where he is now?
As of this morning, he's in the Otero County Processing Center, which is in Chaparral, New Mexico. That's located more than 2,000 miles from his home.
Anything else his family has had to say about all this?
Well, his wife's extremely anxious. She's afraid for his safety. She's been enduring a lot of sleepless nights, says she's close to the breaking point. She's in the process of trying to find a lawyer to take his case pro bono. She's been unsuccessful so far. And she's worried if he's deported to Afghanistan that the Taliban will kill him.
Back to the broader context here, what other immigration policies has the administration either changed or signaled will change in response to the shooting over Thanksgiving?
So in addition to Afghanistan, the president has frozen the processing of immigration requests from 18 other what he calls high-risk countries. And those countries include places like Sudan, Yemen, and Venezuela, but also some less than obvious ones such as Burundi and Togo. It's also effectively frozen the special immigrant visa program for helping Afghans who assisted the U.S. military during the war in their country to become citizens.
Andrew Schneider is Houston Public Media's senior reporter for politics. Andrew, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
A cold front arrives late Saturday and could bring Houston's first freeze of the season early Monday morning, with temperatures dropping down into the mid-30s across southeast Texas. Houston Chronicle meteorologist Justin Ballard tells our producer Mincho Jacob what to expect in the week ahead.
So around this time of year, this is exactly what we should be seeing. So weather temperatures should be in the mid-60s, lows should be around mid-40s, mid to upper 40s. So this is exactly what we should be expecting. It only feels extra cool because we've had such a warm last couple of months. I mean, it was a warm fall. We had the most 90-degree days on record during the fall season. We also had the most 90-degree days on record of the entire year. So, you know, all of that kind of really allows the body to not feel as adept at holding or being able to handle the cooler weather that we've seen lately.
And as we go into this weekend, what are we to be expecting? I know we're going to probably see waking up this morning kind of cold.
Yes. So this weekend, we've got a cold front heading into Houston. Now, it's likely to arrive later in the day on Saturday. So anyone with outdoor plans on Saturday, just kind of be prepared for a couple of spotty showers, maybe even a rumble or two of thunder. Temperatures Saturday are going to be pretty mild in mid-70s, and that's going to be partly, because we're out ahead of that cold front. The cold front arrives later in the day Saturday, so likely after sunset. So if you're going to be doing anything on the town Saturday night, just something to be mindful of. Keep the umbrella handy. The cooler weather really gets here on Sunday, when temperatures may only hover in the low 60s, and that's kind of throughout the afternoon. And there's even some guidance that's kind of hinting at, our high temperature occurring earlier in the day as that cold front comes in, which would mean temperatures kind of slowly falling through the 50s throughout the afternoon.
And as we start next week, are we going to be hitting some freezes?
It's possible, especially north of Houston. I still think Houston, the inner loop, even the outer loop of Houston, likely to avoid, freezing temperatures. And if anyone's listening going, okay, well, what's freezing temperatures? 32 degrees or colder. So anything less than 32 degrees is below freezing. 32, of course, is that magic number where water turns to ice, right? So 32 is certainly possible, I think, north of Houston and east of Houston. So we're talking the Piney Woods, we're talking places like Livingston, Lake Livingston, Huntsville, out east towards Beaumont. Here in Houston, I think we'll dodge that, at least based on how it looks now. Obviously, that could change over the weekend. If it does, listen or tune in or watch, get your daily forecast from the Houston Chronicle or even your favorite local, media person here in Houston, kind of to get the most updated information throughout the course of the weekend. But it really looks like temperatures locally through Monday morning will be only in the mid-30s here in Houston, which is still plenty cold, right? But not quite to that point where we're freezing just yet.
Will it be cold enough, long enough to where if we do hit 32 or below that we need to protect pipes, plants?
Listen, plants especially, I always, as someone who has lost several plants to temperatures that are even warmer than 40 degrees, I always recommend, if temperatures drop to below 45 or 50, bring those plants in. And especially once those temperatures fall into the mid-30s, bring them in, cover them up, whatever it needs to be done. Even just bringing them closer to your house makes a big difference. So yes, definitely take those precautions. Pipes, for the most part in Southeast Texas, are good until we hit 24 degrees. That's when hard freezes become a little bit more of a concern, and that's when infrastructure starts to break down. But if you want to be overly cautious, if you'd rather have a little prevention to save yourself from having to spend a lot of money in repairs, then absolutely, cover those pipes. At the very least, it couldn't hurt, right?
What do we expect for the rest of the weekend and even beyond into the Christmas week?
Yeah, if you're not a fan of cold weather, I've got some good news for you. Monday is really going to be the coldest day. Once we get into the afternoon Monday, temperatures may be in the 50s to near 60, but after that, we start turning the tides on the cool weather. Temperatures in the 60s to eventually 70s by the middle of next week, and it looks like those 70s will take us into at least the first half of next week, the week after rather, which is, of course, the week leading up to Christmas, even Christmas Day. So warm Christmas certainly looks likely for those of us in Houston who, maybe foolishly, were hoping for a white Christmas. I don't think this year's the year.
Houston Chronicle meteorologist Justin Ballard there, speaking with Houston Matters producer Mincho Jacob. Still to come this hour, the politics of fonts on this week's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. And later, Houston area musician Vivalda Ndula performs live in our studio as Houston Matters continues on News 88.7 and YouTube.
Hi, I'm Lenny Ambrose from St. Arnold Brewing Company, proud supporters of Houston Public Media. Right now, with your $60 donation, you can choose tickets to News and Brews. This member-exclusive event takes place February 17th. Enjoy a pint, connect with fellow NPR fans, and meet the Houston Public Media newsroom in person. Select News and Brews tickets when you donate at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate.
Comes from Baylor College of Medicine. With 125 years of innovation behind it, Baylor has driven progress in health and medicine through research, education, and care that push the frontiers of modern science. Support for Houston Public Media comes from Metro. Introducing Metro Downtown Direct, helping riders get home for the holidays with non-stop service between downtown and Bush Intercontinental Airport. Details at ridemetro.org/500.
This is Houston Matters. I'm Craig Cohen. Thanks for listening to Houston Public Media on News 88.7. Thanks also to those who check out this show on video on YouTube. We know you're here because you rely on this station to bring you context and clarity about fast-moving developments in our world. That effort is made possible because of you and because of your support to Houston Public Media. We are now fully funded by this community. Federal funding, that's gone. This is new to us, but the support that we have received over the years from so many across Greater Houston, that's not new. And it's something we're counting on now more than ever. Maybe you would like to donate now because you donate around this time, the end of the calendar year, tax-deductible gifts and so forth. Well, we're taking a few minutes here and there today to encourage just that. You can make your gift of $100 or $1,000 or more if you can afford it right now at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate. You can call us at 888-909-0887 and make your gift there. And here with us for the hour again, it's Matt Harrop. Matt.
Hey, Matt, Craig, you're talking about that federal funding loss, and it's been amazing to see this year the community step up and support us throughout the year, and we certainly thank you for that, and we hope you can continue to do that. We will not be back on the air asking for your support until next year, after tomorrow. That makes today a great opportunity to make a difference as the year winds down and we do move into 2026. Want to name some names here. Thank you, Sophia from Spring, Elizabeth, Cynthia, Isabel, and Kelly from Houston. There are so many more names. We thank you so much for your support. You help decide how strong this service is moving into the future. And really, when we talk about gifts of any size matter, $5 a month, $10 a month, $100 a month. You're a Studio Society member. I see we just have a new Studio Society member as well. We thank you so much. These are really the people who want to support public media, not just next year, but the year after that and the year after that. And we certainly thank them for that. And we thank you for anything that you can help keep us moving forward.
More names to thank. Renee, Paul, Barbara, thank you all for your support. Join them now. Support the news you count on at houstonpublicmedia.org. You can call 888-909-0887. When you do make that $10 a month gift or $100 a month, become a Studio Society member. You can give at whatever amount makes sense for your budget, but take advantage of the opportunity to do it now as we wind down this final on-air campaign of the calendar year.
Yeah, and you mentioned Studio Society. We had an Affinity Council gift earlier this hour. That's $417 a month, $5,000 a year. Look, around the clock, Houston Public Media is working for you. We're about to have a morning meeting here in 7 minutes. Stories that we think about Houston all the time when we are pitching stories in the newsroom. The incoming news is nonstop. Our station continues to bring you everything that you need to know, and we want to continue doing that into the future. So help us do that. 888-909-0887 or head over to houstonpublicmedia.org/donate.
Trusted journalism, educational programming, and community connection exist because people like you choose to support this service. And right now, that support is critical. This is your last live opportunity to be part of something important before the year wraps up. Your gift right now helps fund a better informed community, and it ensures this service is ready for whatever comes next. Make this moment count. Support Houston Public Media right now at houstonpublicmedia.org or call 888-909-0887. And just ahead, from a State Department policy change involving fonts to In-N-Out Burger doing away with the year's most annoying outburst. This week's non-expert panel weighs in on the good, the bad, and the ugly as Houston Matters continues.
This week, I'm a Sam Sanders.
You count on Houston Public Media. That's why you're here right now. Take the next step and become a new member today. Every gift makes a difference. And with a gift of $5 a month or more, you'll receive PBS Passport, a member benefit that lets you stream more of the shows you love anytime. It only takes a minute to make a big difference. Join as a new member today at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or call 800-364-8300.
Public Media comes from Drexel University. whose model of experiential education allows students to choose their own path and explore the world, enabling them to discover their perfect career. More at drexel.edu. Support comes from Texas Mutual Insurance Company, a workers' compensation provider dedicated to supporting the state's businesses through safety-focused policyholder plans and annual programs. More at texasmutual.com/TXM Advantage.
A lot can happen in a week. Some of it good, some of it bad, some of it downright ugly. When faced with intriguing developments in the week's news, we turn to a rotating panel of non-experts to parse the good, the bad, and the ugly of it all. On today's panel, Jack Young, Artistic Director of the Houston Shakespeare Festival, David Branham, Professor of Political Science at the University of Houston Downtown, and Mary Flood, Legal Consultant with Androvet Legal Media and Marketing. Jack, David, Mary, welcome to Houston Matters. Good morning.
Hola, hola. Thank you, Craig.
Panel, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio sent a cable to all U.S. embassies and consulates abroad Tuesday, informing them of an official policy change taking effect the next day. All diplomatic correspondence was to stop using the Calibri font and return to Times New Roman. Rubio explained that typography shapes how official documents are perceived in terms of cohesion, professionalism, and formality. He also noted that it clashed with the typeface in State Department letterhead, but he also indicated how the Biden State Department's shift to the sans serif font in 2023 was supposed to mitigate accessibility issues for individuals with disabilities. Basically, people with low or declining vision, dyslexia, and ADHD can struggle with serif fonts, as those little decorative marks at the edges of letters can be blurry or distracting. Rubio concluded the font change did not do that. Further, he argued in the cable obtained by the AP and first reported by the New York Times that, quote, although switching to Calibri was not among the previous administration's most illegal, immoral, radical, or wasteful instances of DEI, it was nonetheless cosmetic, unquote. There's a new serif in town. Is this good, bad, or ugly, Jack Young?
Yeah, well, if the good is the positive for the most folks and the bad is the negative for a good many people, then the ugly is bad with an extra influence to shove it in someone's eye. I'm going to go with ugly. I don't know. The poor man had enough trouble getting hydrated when he was debating things, and to have to stick his thumb in the eye of folks. We do curb cuts so that folks who are wheelchair bound can get through. And it is a bit of a challenge to put that in on a street, but it is good for everybody because I'm seeing all sorts of folks try to haul all their possessions along in these little wagons. So yeah, what was done for a certain set of people to help them out actually is helping everybody out. So helping folks out that have reading challenges. And if we're lucky, we may all end up in that higher end of age where your eyes aren't functioning as well. So Mr. Rubio may be interested in that kind of font somewhere down the line. So I would think that would be okay without having to go the extra road of, oh, and by the way, it's of the communist plot to come steal your minds world. So,
all right, good, bad, or ugly, David Branham.
I'm gonna go with good, only because I really think they're trying to change for the better. Although I like Calibri better than I like Times New Roman, so I'm on the opposite end. I think it's preference bound. And he had some reasoning for doing it, but I could personally do without trying to politicize every single thing that the government does. I mean, this just put it out. We're changing it. We think it's better. That's it. And so that would be fine. I know that font matters because I've published a lot, and so you have certain guidelines that you have. Some fonts, when you're doing things, have advantages over others. Like if you don't have much space, Arial Narrow is a really good font. You can put a whole lot into nothing. If you need to have the characters all equal the same size, you can go to Courier New. It's a kind of an ugly font, but it gets the job done with that. So I understand the need to change it and so forth, but I don't understand the need to politicize it. So I'm not going to criticize just Marco Rubio because I think everybody does this in politics, and I'd rather that they just kind of stop. I mean, we need to kind of focus on what we are on the same page on. a little bit more and less on making sure that we try to make the other guy look bad all the time. So that's my message there.
All right. Good, bad, or ugly? Mary Flood.
I've got bad, though. Listening to Jack, I might go sort of toward ugly. But I think having you guys both be professors, you're probably used to people using the largest fonts they could to make the paper look like it's, a little longer.
That's why they're using that one. I didn't realize.
Wait, did other people do that too? Darn it.
But Marco Rubio, he's so anti-woke, he's practically sleepwalking here. It's just, the language that it's not the most illegal, it's not the most immoral, that's like, it's just so over the top. My favorite thing is him saying that it was wasteful. It was wasteful to change the font. Therefore, I'm going to change the font again. It's like the war on logic. The name of his directive was return to the traditional. And this administration is returning to a lot of traditions, sort of the British Empire that we fought to leave. A lot of this stuff has been oppressive and harmful, and I'm stunned that he's taking the time, and I shouldn't be stunned that he's taking the time and the money to make this kind of change. Well, so many horrible things are going on, the deterioration of the DOJ and the attack on the judiciary and attack on small boats and attack on people who fell off of small boats we've attacked. And it's infinite. And I think that they're hurting the American people in so many ways, including I think they're hurting our necks because we have to shake our heads so often that I think that there's some neck problems being created by this administration.
Can we just compromise on just one font for everything? Wingdings and be done with it?
Yeah, Comic Sans.
I do like changing for the better.
Chalkboard.
I think sometimes people change just to change and make a point.
Yeah.
Right?
Panel, a new flight from Argentina to China is now the world's longest commercial flight route. It takes 29 hours with just a brief stopover in Auckland, New Zealand for refueling and a new crew. As The Independent reported this week, in all, the route covers 12,400 miles in the air from Buenos Aires to Shanghai. Celebrations were held last week in both cities to mark the debut of the China Eastern Airlines route, which actually originates in Shanghai and traveling to Buenos Aires takes a mere 25 hours. You can spend more than a day in the air and take one plane around half the circumference of the Earth, though I would recommend against using the center seat. Is this good, bad, or ugly, David?
I think you're right about the center seat. But I'm going to say good, because if there's a demand for this and people want to buy a ticket and go halfway around the world in 29 hours, I think they should be able to do it. I personally would not like it very much. I think the longest flight I've had is from Taipei to Los Angeles, and that was like 14 or 15 hours right there. And then, I had to stop over to come to Houston, so that's almost 20 hours in the air. And that's tough. It's not fun. And as a passenger, you need a mindset to be able to get through this, where I'm going to somehow enjoy this flight. Sometimes you find a really good movie, or two or three good movies in this case.
You can watch all of Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
Yeah. Game of Thrones.
But if you can do that, then I say go for it. Everybody has a choice. You don't have to do it, but if you need to do it, you can.
All right, good, bad, or ugly, Mary.
David, we finally agree. I think it's good, too. I think it's just because it's not important that we agree.
Is the roof falling in?
My longest flight was probably to Tahiti, but when you get to Tahiti, you're like, I'm pretty happy. So it's, I don't know what it would be like to go through so many time zones. I have no idea, but I'm thinking you need to come, not just with the right attitude, but with, probably like noise-canceling headphones and an eye mask and a neck pillow and various layers and and you know what might be good is like an IV too for hydration.
Or mind-altering substances.
There you go. I'm going to like you. Anyway.
It's going to go right to his social media after the show, right?
Good, bad, or ugly, Jack?
There aren't enough peanuts in the world. Pretzels. Again, I will celebrate my colleagues here that if there's somebody who is desperate to get out of Beijing and must go to Buenos Aires, I guess that's probably as direct as you can do it. I also have friends that run marathons and friends that run ultra marathons, 50 miles. This guy ran for 11 straight hours. there's some kind of dopamine thing for him that makes him want to run for 11 straight hours. Whatever dopamine rush someone gets from jumping across the world that way, I suppose it's bragging rights in the bar. I'll let somebody else buy him the nachos. I'm just going to walk around and find somebody else to talk to.
You don't have to run while you're on the plane.
Maybe that might be just up and back and down the aisles or something. Just to have
pretty much have to almost, to be honest with you.
I mean, every cell in your body is. We don't accelerate astronauts for 29 hours like that.
I will say too, if your health is a little bit frail, this is not for you.
Yeah.
I mean, flying a plane is not a healthy thing to do, so it's tough.
Yeah, you should take an immune system too. That's what you need.
Yeah.
Do they have sensory deprivation tanks? Maybe you could go in there and just be out in there the whole time somehow.
Finally, panel, someone at In-N-Out Burger apparently had enough of the at first harmless but now admittedly annoying 6-7 craze. I'm sure you've been inundated with it by now, with kids screaming and jumping and moving their hands up and down anytime anyone anywhere says those two numbers in succession. It became so pervasive this year that Dictionary.com named 6-7 the word of the year. Never mind, it's 2 words, but I digress. As I said, the folks at In-N-Out were growing tired of the noise every time they announced that Order 67 was ready, so the chain has removed the number 67 from its ordering system, skipping from 66 to 68. By the way, they're also skipping 69. We won't get into that. So no one has to read the numbers aloud and prompt that reaction. As the Houston Chronicle's Jared Wardwell reported Thursday, the change was made some weeks ago. In fact, we maybe 6-7 weeks late in noticing. There you go. In-N-Out Burger retires the number 67 just to keep the peace. Is this good, bad, or ugly, Mary?
I think it's good. I think it makes sense for In-N-Out, given we were able to look at a video of, like, it looked like dozens and dozens of teenagers getting really excited when they said 67, which was surely getting in the way of the business. And it's good for the teenagers. I mean, all the other horrible things these hormone-filled strong young people could be doing, to just go around and act stupid when people say 2 numbers is, that's not bad. I think social media is generally making us stupider. But, we've always been stupid. But the Tide Challenge where teenagers poisoned themselves. And,
that was pretty bad.
Yeah, the Ice Bucket Challenge. And that was for charity. And even adults were doing that. And it, we'll do a lot of stupid things.
There's the Kool-Aid Challenge these days. Did you hear about that one? Oh, it's where you mimic the 1970s era Kool-Aid commercial where Kool-Aid bursts through a wall. So you just run headfirst into like a fence or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Not a good idea.
We may not see those people a lot afterwards.
No.
But anyway,
out of the gene pool.
I understand that teenagers, need to do something that their parents don't understand, and this is pretty good. And they usually do slang too. And as soon as the parents say Riz or Slay, they have to do a new one.
Good, bad, or ugly, Jack?
Stupidity has lasted for most of human history. There was the time that people tried to cram into phone booths, or how many people could they put in a Volkswagen, or get a spoonful of cinnamon and stick it in your mouth, and how long can you last with that? So it's harmless enough, I suppose, for them to gyrate and ululate over the number 6-7, but I don't know that the rest of us has to provoke it. So if that, by removing 6-7, keeps the peace a little bit more. There are hotels that don't have the 13th floor either. So, we got, this is just going to cause more trouble than it's going to make for a positive. Sure.
Oh, good. That's the reason why.
Yeah.
They don't have a 13th floor. So I'm just curious. I will say that if you're disrupting a business and everybody's around, people react to reaction. So it may be difficult to be around people reacting to 6-7 for absolutely no reason at all. So I think this is good. I think it's a good idea to do this. But I love what Mary and Jack were talking about before the show. We were saying, if you really want to get rid of this trend, all us old people need to just do it ourselves. And
that'll shut it down in 2 seconds.
Exactly.
Has Whataburger shut it down yet, though?
I'm afraid we just have 6 or 7 seconds left. Jack Young is the artistic director of the Houston Shakespeare Festival. David Branham's a professor of political science at UH Downtown. Mary Flood's a legal consultant with Androvet Legal Media and Marketing. Thank you all very much.
Thanks a lot. Happy holidays.
And thanks for joining us today for Houston Public Media's Houston Matters on News 88.7 and YouTube. Remember that you make this service possible. Everything you count on from Houston Public Media, from this program to our news coverage to educational programming on TV8 and beyond, it's all only possible because this station is financially supported by you, because you stand up and contribute. With federal funding gone, your year-end gift means more than ever. Donate $10 or $20 or $30 a month, maybe more if it's within your means, right now at HoustonPublicMedia.org, or you can call 888-909-0887. Back with us again to encourage your support, News 88.7's Matt Harrop.
Good morning, Craig. You know, radio is personal. It is one voice talking to you wherever you are. It's a lifeline during hurricanes. We didn't have one last year, but we might in the future. And we will be here in the future for you when that happens. But we need your support to keep this signal strong. Your gift today helps fund a better informed community, and it ensures that this service is ready for whatever comes next. So make your support count now. Head over to HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887.
Before the year ends, make a smart move. Make that gift to Houston Public Media. Ensure the future of in-depth news, thoughtful analysis, great conversations, great storytelling. And if you're the one who might itemize your deductions, well, it's tax deductible. Donate now at HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate, or you can call us at 888-909-0887.
It's not a fun thing to think about, but can you imagine Greater Houston without Houston Matters? Now imagine your gift being the reason that it stays here. That's the impact that you can make today. When you head over to HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887. Keep Houston Matters strong, keep Hello Houston strong, and keep Houston Public Media strong.
How dare you?
Oh. Had to.
Houston Matters not going anywhere.
Never.
You know, national coverage will from time to time mention Houston, maybe not as often as we think it should. We tend to think there's a lot going on here that the rest of the country should be paying attention to. Well, only local journalists truly understand this community. When you support Houston Public Media, you are keeping the focus on Greater Houston, not just through Houston Matters, but through our local news coverage. Your gift today ensures the future of this important service. Make that $10 or $20 or $30 a month gift right now at HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate. You can call 888-909-0887.
And you were talking about national news. You know, one thing that we do here as local journalists is pitch our local stories to the national news network. So we can tell the stories of Houston, the stories of Texas, all across the country. The news will not stop, and neither will we. We will continue to bring you all of the information and the programs you rely on, but we can only do it with your support. So head over to HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887.
Yeah, we are a 24/7, 365 service, unless it's a leap year, then 366.
Okay.
And that's only possible because of your support. So make your gift right now to keep this station strong every day throughout, not just the rest of this year, but into next year and the years beyond that at HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate or 888-909-0887.
You know, some members give monthly, others give one-time gifts, but everything helps fuel Houston Public Media into the future. Again, your gift, any amount, supports the programs and local reporting that keep you informed and connected. $5 a month, $10 a month, $100 a month. You're a member of our Studio Society. Again, these are tax-deductible eligible gifts. $417 a month. You're a member of our Affinity Council. We already got a couple of those this morning. 888-909-0887 is the way to join those new members. If you are a new listener, thank you. We certainly appreciate you, and we hope to get your support as well at HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate.
This is our final on-air campaign of the year. Your support right now matters more than ever. It's your moment to give back and keep public media strong and help Houston Public Media finish the year fully funded. When you give today, you do something powerful for you and all of Greater Houston. So make your year-end gift now at HoustonPublicMedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887. And stay with us as Houston Matters continues on News 88.7 and Houston Public Media's YouTube channel.
It's not just your car. It's the one that brought your kids home from school, took you cross-country, held memories, laughter, even a few breakdowns. When it's time to let go, give your car a new purpose. Donate it and turn memories into meaningful support for this station. Plus, you'll enjoy free and easy pickup, potential tax benefits, and a simple donation process. Your gift supports the programs you and your family love. Donate today and help keep public media strong. Call or donate online.
Craig Cohen is made possible in part by Ellen Benninghoven and Dr. Michael Schaefer, and with gifts from listeners like you.
Support comes from Children's Museum of Houston, presenting Faithful Friends, an exhibit fostering connection, curiosity, understanding, and friendship. Families explore other cultures through the eyes of Houston kids. More at cmhouston.org.
Angolan-born Houstonian Vivalda Ndula calls her music artivism, a blend of art and activism meant to move the heart and the conscience. Her songs draw from traditional Angolan rhythms and contemporary global sounds, but they're rooted in something deeper, stories of survival, resilience, and identity. And now that she's here in the Bayou City, Ndula's seeking out ways to merge her Angolan heritage with the Bayou City's musical energy. She's here to talk with us about that and weaving activism into her music. Vivalda Ndula, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Has music, and specifically storytelling through music, has that always been a part of your life?
Always, always. As you mentioned, I was born and raised in Angola, and this is part of my family. I am one of these persons that was lucky enough to have musicians in the family, traditional musicians in the family, and this was passed from, it's normally passed from generations, through talkings, through storytelling when we are sitting in a gathering, and just the passing of the culture to the kids.
Some folks will write and perform music just for the joy of it. There's nothing wrong with that. Yes. As I said, you make what you call artivism. What are some examples of the kinds of messages you want people to hear and think about in your music?
Normally I say, just because it doesn't happen to us, it doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. And normally I advocate for human trafficking, child labor, children's trafficking as well, and to call attention to these matters that sometimes we don't see it, but it really happens. And I use my music to give a voice to these people that have no voice to defend themselves. This is the reason why.
What would you like to play for us this morning?
Well, I can play Mbandu. Mbandu means side by side, and the language is Kimbundu, which is one of Angola's native language. And I wrote during the pandemic, when we were in those times that, despite of being in the same place and being the same people, we could not agree with each other. And there was a message to say that it would be amazing that we could deal with our differences. Our problems would be so much minimal if we could deal with our differences. It doesn't matter where you come from, what language do you speak, how you look like, but we could live in a much better place if we could deal with each other. And this is Mbandu.
That is a universal and timeless message for sure.
Yes.
Here's Vivalda Ndula performing Mbandu. Or side by side.
Yes, side
live
by
on
side.
Houston Matters. Take it away.
Ongongo wishiku beta kota setu di sola dingi. Kalaturi longa kufibana ni kukala nya kweto alanetu Mbandu ni mbandwe Mbandu ni mbandwe Mbandu ni mbandwe Mbandu ni mbandwe ya kulaya lelo kisua wala kiambote olyo so isolar. Monyata uau, Mbandu nimbandwe. Mbandu nimbandwe. Mbandu nimbandwe. Mbandu nimbandwe. Mbandu, 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 mbandu nimbandu. 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 Oh, mbereya, ya, oh,
That was beautiful. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Houstonian Vivalda Ndula performing Mbandu ni Mbandu, or Side by Side, live here on Houston Matters. While you have a guitar with you today, you routinely perform music using some traditional Angolan instruments. Can you describe one or two?
Yes, I describe my music as a symbiosis between my traditional roots and the world music. And we use sakansaka, we use a madimba, we use the drums, not the djembes. We use ngomas, which is originally from where I come from, which is slightly different from the djembes. I know that the Western world is very used to djembes. There is the strings, but the ngomas don't have strings. The strings is actually the tuner for the djembe, but for ngomas, for us, for our culture, for you to tune, you have to put near to the fire. And sometimes when you have a performance, you have to have fire around or something very hot around so you can go and from times in times you take the drums out so you can warm it to tune it, the drums.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so it's very beautiful and very interesting as well. So I do these mixes between these traditional instruments and then the more Western guitars, the cellos, the violins, the guitars, either electric or acoustic, the drum sets. So it makes this beautiful, beautiful symbiosis, which is all of us, right? The world is just one. We are in the same place. And when we mix together, we become this beautiful thing that was meant to be.
Can we hear another song?
Yes, absolutely.
And what would you like to play next?
Muhatu. So Muhatu, the meaning is of this song, I say, I can see your beauty. I can see your essence. You are the warrior that keep the wound of life. This is Muhatu.
Okay, Vivalda Ndula, take it away.
Gitala ungijimbando ngamona ombanduwe gitala ungijimbando ngamona okwabakwe sepala heyo Muhatu jaita ulunga divumu dia mwenyu Muhatu keshimwetu udifaneye
You have a lovely and powerful voice. That's a combination that not a lot of people have. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Vivalda Ndula performing Muhatu live on Houston Matters. She is a Houston-based Angolan singer, songwriter, and activist. And thanks also for talking with us this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you so much.
Each day here on Houston Matters, we introduce Houstonians to one another, to our diverse music, food, outlooks, experiences, the whole thing. Your financial support allows us to bring conversations like this to all of Greater Houston, and it's critical as we are now fully funded by you. Your support and the support of your friends and neighbors right here in Greater Houston, well, it's the only way that we can continue to bring you Houston Matters and the news that you rely on. During this end-of-the-year campaign, make a difference right now with a $10, $20, or $30 a month gift, more if you can afford it, at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887. And back with us once more to encourage your support in these final minutes of today's show, News 88.7's Matt Harrop.
Hey, Craig. Yeah, well, that was just beautiful to listen to, and just thinking about as we're raising money here at the year's end. It's we're a show, we're a station that, yes, we highlight the news, we show you the news, we tell you what's going on in the world, but we also highlight our community. And that is special about Houston Matters. And you support Houston Matters. And this is your final chance this year to support Houston Public Media in general during a live campaign. If you have been thinking about giving, now is the perfect time. Support shows like this that can bring you the news, the local news, national news, state news, but also wonderful musical performances every now and then that come on this show. It's truly just a special, unique product that we produce. Your contribution helps fund the station's most trusted work and keeps public media accessible to all. When you give today, head over to houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887.
When we launched Houston Matters, those many years ago, in 2013, one of the things we talked about was the idea of developing a show that offered variety, that was going to be a variety of conversations about all sorts of issues, all sorts of conversations taking place, but also performances, also food, as I said, one of our favorite subjects on the Houston Matters team. But the whole idea was to recognize that, look, when we talk about Greater Houston, the whole metro area, and however you want to define those borders, we were talking about 7 million plus people. They all have stories to tell. There are people doing all sorts of creative, interesting things. Let's introduce Houstonians to one another. That was the idea. And your support is what allowed us to launch the show. It's allowed us to sustain it, and what allows us to, day after day, bring different voices to our air. Your financial support right now will help ensure the future of that when you make that $20 a month gift or more, if you can afford it, at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or 888-909-0887.
I think about Houston Public Media. Radio is personal. Music is personal. It's one voice talking to you, maybe with an instrument sometimes, wherever you are. It's a lifeline during hurricanes here at Houston Public Media, and a company where when the world feels loud, we try and dim it down for you. Houston Public Media is 100% community funded, and that means you are the connection to keeping this signal strong. Keep Houston Public Media on the air moving into 2026. That tax-deductible gift makes all the difference in the world today. Head over to houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or call 888-909-0887.
We provide variety. We provide voices. We also are a watchdog. Every community needs a watchdog. Houston Public Media is that for Greater Houston. When you give now, you are funding local news that holds power to account, that reports facts. That stuff's important. I'm glad we've got it. And I'm glad for your support that's allowed us to sustain it to this point. Let's hear from you now to make a contribution to ensure the future of that service. Again, at houstonpublicmedia.org/donate or 888-909-0887.
We will not be back on the air asking for your support until next year after tomorrow. So that makes today the last final weekday of the year 2025 that we are asking for your support. Look, you help decide how strong this service is. We will be heading into the new year stronger because of you. 888-909-0887 or head over to houstonpublicmedia.org/donate. And thank you.
Support for Houston Public Media comes from Baylor College of Medicine. With 125 years of innovation behind it, Baylor has driven progress in health and medicine through research, education, and care that push the frontiers of modern science. Support comes from Alley Theater, featuring A Christmas Carol, presented by UT Health Houston.